So this is a collection of used Razor electric scooters that I've picked up over the past 4 months. And in total, it's only been a few $100, less than $300 for all of these scooters. So starting at the lowest powered one, we have some Razor Turbo Jets. And these are 80 watt, 12 volt. They go pretty good, but just like skateboarding or anything, you really need to be on a pretty smooth surface with those. They can support me as a 6'3", 175-pound guy. Next up is the Razor PowerCore. That one's modded, so it doesn't have a kickstand anymore. PowercoreE100. This actually is surprising. It's not actually a hub motor that they have in here. You can see it's actually like a DC RC motor, and then there's a big planetary gear. This one is very loud. You can hear me just moving it back and forth. This is a super loud scooter. Also, it's pretty short. You know, the 100 series definitely are for smaller kids. You know, I'd say like 5, 6 and under. 120 pounds on these ones. This was a Razor E150. I've put a inflated rear wheel on it instead of the hard one that came with it, because those hard ones get real skirty when you hit little pebbles and stuff. They have a nice inflated front wheel standard, but they don't come with the inflated rear wheel standard like the 200 does. You can also see the 100 series are short. The 200 series, right there, the next one in line, this teal one, is a little bit bigger. Alright, let's get you out of the way. So, this one is where bigger kids can ride. I think they say up to 154 pounds on the E200. This one's not bad. But again, they all come with lead acid batteries, which suck. That's something that, you know, is safe, tried and true, but it was inexpensive, and it was an easy way to keep the cost down on the scooters, but they only last a couple years. That's why you find them used all over for pretty cheap. So, what I've done is I upgraded in my first 300 here to a 36 volt, see right there what it looks like, one of these, 36 volt 4.4 amp hour hoverboard battery, charges at 2 amps, so it charges really quick. I don't think it's ever took me more than like an hour and a half to charge it. Top speed on this now has been modified is about 22 for me, and a range of I don't know, 12 to 15 miles, depending on how fast I ride. But for being 6'3", I can definitely ride the E300s, but they're still a little bit low. That's the way, you know, these are meant for kids. This can hit, it says like up to 176 pounds on these. This new battery, it's just a battery and a motor controller. So this is just a stock 300. You know, like I said, I'm going to mod this one to put a lithium battery pack in it. This one has a 500 watt motor controller, so this one has double the power than the original 250 watts that these 300s came with. So it's definitely worth it. For just around 70 bucks, you can buy a, what is that? Oh, that's not the right one. We got some, I got another one somewhere, another 36 volt. This one's 800 watt. I probably use 2 batteries. I don't know if those little 250 watt motors can handle the 800 watts. But right now I have a 500 watt motor controller. But the 500 watt ones are, you know, $10 to $15. These 800 watt ones are $20. And you need a variable throttle. That's another huge, huge thing. These are all twist throttles. And these little ones, you have to be going up to the 200, you have to be going a couple miles, you have to be going like 3 miles an hour before the motors will even kick in. The 300s will go from a dead start. And so will this Euro Pocket Mod here. That one actually has the same 250 watt motor, but it's more torquey, I found out, than the original 250 watt motors on these big things. So I might steal that torque motor and put it a different one. But these are original lead acid batteries. They're fucking heavy, and there's two of them. Excuse my language. They're very heavy, and there's two of them. This is a super light lithium battery pack, and the capacity just outdoes those, you know, by far. And it's, you know, much quicker to recharge. So, you know, for under $70, you can get a battery, you get a variable controller or a variable throttle, and you buy a motor controller, and you can pick these up, you know, from anywhere from $30 to, you know, $100 on Craigslist, depending on the condition. You know, some are even cheaper. I think I got this one for like $20. But, and then for another $70, you can have a really fast scooter. Like I said, 21, 22 miles an hour on this guy, and under $100, you know, all in. So I'll be under $100 all in on that red scooter for a scooter that competes, you know, with the newer ones. They are a little loud because they're chain drive and not hub motors, but they're easy to work on, easy to upgrade, and parts are cheap and plenty. Right, Lucy? Yeah. But definitely, if you're an adult, I would recommend a 300. You know, teenagers 200. Some adults, you know, smaller adults can ride the 200. I definitely would go with at least a 200 because the inflated wheels, you know, are really key. So I'm gonna make another video and show you how to mod one of this red 300 soon.